My name is Brian Jersky, Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs here at Cal State Long Beach. If you're new to the campus, welcome to the beach, and if you're not new, welcome back to the beach. Let's begin by acknowledging the spiritual connection of the Tongva, Gabrieleno, and the Ahashimen Juaneño nations as the original stewards and caretakers of this land. I want to start off our morning today with a video featuring our recently awarded $20 million Build 2 grant. This renewal grant Thank you. This renewal grant is for 5 years to continue what the previous 5-year Build 1 grant created. The grant is a joint effort with 4 of our colleges here at the university: the College of Natural Science and Mathematics, the College of Engineering, the College of Health and Human Services, and the College of Liberal Arts. It provides infrastructure and support for collaborative research experiences for our students to learn, thrive, and gain valuable skills to transform the biomedical academic leadership landscape so it looks more like our population in the future. If this grant sounds impressive, it is. It's one of only 10 in the country. Let's hear more about Bill.
You're here with us today to start off a very special journey called Build. You will become great researchers by the time you finish Build. But on top of that, when you leave Build, you will also have a supportive community of mentors, of colleagues, and friends who care about you and will stay with you to make sure that you achieve your goals.
My mentor is Dr. Barbara Grossman-Thompson. She's doing a research on Nepali women and their health. I joined Build because I'm interested in research that relates with health at a community level.
I think the Build program is an amazing opportunity and an amazing support mechanism for students to really make sure or ensure that they do succeed both in their academic pursuits and their research goals.
I work in the additive manufacturing of artificial tissues, which is also known as bioprinting. It's actually a cool concept. You can develop tissues, organs, just from biomaterials themselves, and an actual printer.
You guys are going to be the next generation of interdisciplinary scientists. We believe that you're going to advance scientific knowledge and technology that contributes to the improvement of every individual in the US, as well as make a global impact.
Through the experiences I've had in the learning community class that the program provides, I found a passion and a support group that pushed me in the right direction towards research.
A big part of Build is mentorship from the faculty and the time that the students get to do research. But at the same time, we also provide professional developments. These are skills that help them to become more competitive when they apply for graduate school, which is another goal of the Build program, is to help students to pursue PhD in the health-related research.
I'm going to be going to a PhD program at UCI under the Interdepartmental Neuroscience program. Thank you for the Build program, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Build and all of their support.
Isn't that amazing? I want to thank the Build program for all the inspiring, innovative work our students have the opportunity to experience. Build is just one way in which we illustrate why Cal State Long Beach is the institution it is. In other words, very impressive. I'd like Chia Chun and Simon Kim, as well as the rest of the faculty and staff from BUILD, to please stand up and be recognized. And this would not have happened without And BUILD 2, of course, would never have happened without the inspired leadership of Dean Laura Kingsford and Guido Urizar of BUILD 1. Some of you may like to know that as one of the offshoots of our BUILD programs, we're piloting a program to bring talented postdocs from UC Irvine here for a semester to expose them to academic life at a comprehensive university and to persuade them to join us as hopefully faculty in the future. In this area, I'd like to welcome Dr. Christian Molidor, our first mentor of this program, and one of our students, Alma Olagwez from the PrEP program. Please stand and be recognized. At this time, I want to take a moment to thank all our campus partners, staff, and faculty. You've become a large part of why I so enjoy working on our campus. I continue to be impressed by the world-changing, passionate, and dedicated CSULB community. I'm going to take a moment to recognize some of them. Continuing to lead Cal State Long Beach in our educational mission, as well as maintain our high academic standards, are our academic deans. Their combined talent and commitment to excellence continue to nurture a dynamic educational environment where our students can thrive. Let's give all of them a round of applause as they rise to receive it. Missing this year is Cyrus Parker Jeanette, former Dean of the College of the Arts, who retired this summer to spend more time with her family. Under her leadership, she provided students and faculty the space to create artistic expression. As a true champion of the arts, she nurtured a strong creative environment where the arts thrived. Her legacy will be missed by all of us in the college and university, and our campus would like to thank her for her continuing work in COTA and let you all know about a celebration for her on September the 16th at 4 p.m. backstage here at the Carpenter Performing Arts Center. We will miss you, I will miss you, and please join me in a round of applause for Cyrus. Another person who will soon be leaving from our campus is Shauna Dark, Associate Vice President of Academic Technology Services, ATS. She's accepted a position with UC Berkeley as their Chief Academic Technology Officer and will start there in September. Their gain is certainly our loss, although we are always happy to provide beach achievements and successes to our less developed UC colleagues. During her time here on campus, she revolutionized ATS by providing cutting-edge resources, workshops, and industry current technology for our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you, Shauna, for your hard work and dedication. UC Berkeley is lucky to have you, and we wish you all the best. I also want to thank my late predecessor, David Dowell, who had the foresight to envision this most needed resource, ATS, here at Cal State Long Beach several years ago. Shauna captured his vision and created a flourishing unit that has become an invaluable resource for our faculty and campus. Next, I would like to recognize our associate deans, who play a pivotal role in each college. Also, I would like to acknowledge the department chairs here, who do one of the most challenging jobs on our campus. Please join me in a round of hearty applause and thanks for all of them. We're blessed with outstanding student government leaders, and today we have ASI President Lisbeth Velasquez and her entire executive team in place. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating our student leadership. In addition, I'd like to recognize the following campus leaders. Please hold your applause till the end. Tim Whitaker, Steward of the State Employees Trade Council, Dora Apodaca, Chief Steward of Academic Professionals of California, Deborah Ham and Gary Heitreck, Co-Presidents, California Faculty Association, Jennifer Moran, President, California State University Employees Union, Christopher Brown, Statewide University Police Association, Kristen Bonatati, Cal State Long Beach Staff Council Chair, Kurt Brower, President of CSULB Alumni, Jessica Pandya, Chair of the Academic Senate, we'll hear from her later, and also Norbert Schurer, immediate past President of our Academic Senate. On behalf of the university, I offer thanks to each of you for your commitment to the success of our students and this campus. Each year, we carefully select a small number of students to be admitted to our campus as recipients of the prestigious President's Scholarship. Our scholarship program has an enviable history and is a highly visible scholars program in the state of California and the nation. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome, scholars. I wish each of you, and indeed all our students, every success at Cal State Long Beach. So, this past year has been a wild ride. From the daily news surrounding us nationally to the increased numbers of students and growth on our campus, we have certainly seen change. The last few months have left me personally concerned about the direction our nation is heading. All the negative news had taken a toll on me until a reminder walked my way. I left work that day feeling the heaviness of my job. Ever have one of those days? The weight of the day honestly left me feeling bogged down with deadlines, decisions, issues. But as I was walking to my car, a man also happened to be walking in the same direction as me. He caught my eye and paused to tell me something. He remarked, with all the pride and hope his words could fill, that his son had just registered for college. I told him that he must be so proud, and beaming, he said that he was. I knew intuitively that his new start represented so much, not only for his son, but for the whole family and community. I left feeling a profound sense of purpose and renewed hope. This family was entrusting their precious son to us, to our beach family. And I left that into action, grateful for the moment that had just occurred. I felt it, and I was reminded of why I work in higher education. I left thankful that I was able to bear witness to this dad's joy, and was reminded that we all are in the business of changing lives. Sometimes we simply experience a part of a student's journey. Other times we're lucky enough to see the whole path. I do know that every one of us in this room plays an important part in each of our students' lives. That being said, we also have a tremendous responsibility to our students, to their families, and to each other. I would be remiss if I didn't remind you all that we are better together, working across divisions, job responsibilities, and titles to be successful in our shared mission. As Nietzsche said, forgetting our intentions is the most frequent of all acts of stupidity. Sometimes we need these interactions to center us back to our real purpose and intention. Now let's take a moment to reflect back on the year with some highlights from our campus. And as we watch, you can see where we really shine. For those of us new to our campus, you made an excellent choice. We have many points of pride on our campus and have many, many reasons to celebrate. This past year, as I said, we've seen tremendous growth, from welcoming the largest cohort ever admitted to this university this fall, to a record number of students who apply to our university, and the opening of 2 new buildings. Here are just a few of the things that have happened across the university. The Division of Administration and Finance launched a redesigned staff recognition program entitled Best of the Beach, and a Roads to Success staff development program. They've also completed construction on the Student Services Building and the Continuing Professional and International Education Building. You'll see more about these later. Thank you, Vice President Scott Appel, for your leadership and navigation with these endeavors. The Division of University Relations and Development has raised nearly $39 million, a new campus record. And also accepted a $10 million contribution, one of the largest single gifts ever made to our campus, to create the Carolyn Campagna Kleefeld Contemporary Art Museum. In addition to that, they've completed fundraising for the Anna W. Nye Alumni Center, a multifunctional space that will help usher in a new era of alumni engagement. Congratulations to their new team and their leader, Vice President Michelle Cheska. In the past school year, the Division of Information Technology Services continued to partner with the campus community to implement our Smart Campus initiative, including enhancing the student virtual computer lab, expanding high-performance computing environments for faculty and researchers, and installing smart signage and displays around the campus. Thank you to Dr. Min Yao for his vision and leadership. Our Division of Student Affairs recently received approval from our CSU Board of Trustees to construct a new residence hall for $104 million, as well as a new student center admin office for $18 million. This effort will result in the first new residence hall on our campus in 32 years, with 400 additional beds for students to live on campus. Thank you, Dr. Marianne Takamoto, for taking on this crucial role. All 19 athletic teams in our athletics division have exceeded the minimum standard of the NCAA academic progress rate for the 14th year in a row, and we remain the only CSU that does this. Six programs won either their regular season or conference championship, with our men's volleyball team successfully defending their title as the NCAA national champions. Congratulations to Congratulations to those students and to Athletics Director Andy Fee and his team. I'd also like to add my official welcome to President Conoley's new Chief of Staff, Dr. Neil Schnur, whose wise advice and incisive analyses have already added to our university's leadership team. This university received over 102,000 applications this past year. According to the US News and World Report, we are among the top 10 most applied to universities in the country. We are also, of course, the most applied to CSU in the system. From that large pool, about 6,000 of those are local applicants who meet CSU admissions criteria. All of those were offered admissions to CSULB in accordance with our ironclad promise to provide local access. And recently, we've expanded the Long Beach Promise commitment into Long Beach Promise 2.0. This new promise provides guaranteed admission to Cal State Long Beach for students who sign up for the pre-approved criteria at Long Beach City College in 10 of our most popular majors. I want to talk a little bit about the effect of your hard work this last year. And in 2015, just for reference, CSULB awarded 7,880 bachelor's degrees. In 2018, the last year, the number of bachelor's degrees awarded increased to a new high of 8,986. That is an increase of 14% or 1,106 new degrees, the highest increase in CSULB history. We talk about numbers, but imagine those 1,106 new degree holders, their families, their communities, and think about the impact CSULB has. In 2015, we admitted a total of 9,450 students. In 2019-20, that's now, we are going to be admitting 11,400 students, a 20% increase. In other words, about 2,000 more students have access to us, to you, and this is because of our success in our signature Graduation Initiative 2025 program. The reason we do this is because of student success and access and admission to our university, not because of the numbers. And as a result of that, we topped several prominent lists based on key things from my point of view: social mobility, degree value, best public institution, as well as the many celebrated programs and majors on our campus. And of course, perhaps we also beat Harvard into 14th place. We are 13th place in the nation. As best college for your money by Money magazine. Number 13 in the nation, that's Cal State Long Beach. We can give Harvard some tips once we've finished sorting out our UC colleague. In 2019, US News and World Report ranked Long Beach as the third best public college in the Western United States. In 2019, Forbes ranked CSU Long Beach as one of America's best value colleges for our affordable tuition, quality of education, earnings of our graduates, and low levels of student debt. And furthermore, we are the number 2 campus in the country in awarding the most bachelor's degrees to traditionally underrepresented minorities. What can I say but wow? Well, in addition to providing this social mobility, this educational quality, we also have an economic impact on our region and state. The President commissioned an economic impact report, which proves that our university drives economic impact in the region to enhance and benefit our community. A few highlights are, and of course we expect you to memorize these numbers, during the 2016-17 fiscal year, Cal State Long Beach generated a total of $562 million in output just in the city of Long Beach. $1.14 billion in output throughout Los Angeles County, and in addition, $390 million throughout Orange County. We are a multi-billion-dollar contributor to our state's economy. We also took in over $4 million in contracts that faculty and staff are engaged in 2016-17. And that's money that goes towards charitable and volunteer activities, including students and faculty. And as you just saw, with Build, we expended a total of over $35 million in support of your faculty research activities on and off campus, with and without students. We're making an impact in the region, and of course, a great deal of this is based on you. Your individual successes show up in these campus-wide points of pride. Your dedication to our students and your passion to better our communities brings me and everyone associated with this university great joy. I'm grateful, extremely grateful, that I get to work alongside a team of dedicated individuals with a common goal and purpose in mind. Going forward, we have several goals, many goals, dreams and visions that we want to see realized. One of our core tenets, diversity is our strength. This past fall, chairs, faculty, administrators, and staff came together to initiate and establish a clear goal and plan to increase faculty diversity on our campus. And that group created immediate, medium, and long-term objectives to accomplish that ambitious plan. Over the next few months and years, Academic Affairs is going to execute a pipeline, recruitment, and retention models to increase faculty diversity. Indeed, I am looking forward to hiring more than 60 new tenure-track faculty in the 2019-2020 academic year. As I mentioned before, we opened up 2 new buildings and brought together several units to better serve our students. I'm proud to say that this work was done by collaboratively joining forces across divisions, such as our partnership with DAF to share resources. We reduced duplication and worked together as one team. CPI's newest building, entirely non-state funded, opened its doors to our campus this past fall. It's a 3-story, 35,000 square foot facility with 20 main classrooms and has already become a valuable resource to our students. In terms of our sustainability commitments, it's also a certified energy neutral LEED Platinum status building. And that means that this building, the structure, produces an equal amount of energy to what it consumes. Another redesigned building, this time on the state side, is the Student Success Center, which opened its doors this past March. That has become, as designed, a one-stop shop to again better serve our students, especially the ones who need specific resources. The newly recreated space is home to UKUA, the Bob Murphy Access Center, formerly known as Disabled Student Services, the Learning Center, the Build Grant, the Women's Gender and Equity Center, and many more units. The center also offers open lab and studio spaces for students and researchers. It's again a great example of academic affairs working together with student affairs and DAF to make our students succeed. California is now offering all graduating seniors from California High School 2 years of free tuition at community colleges. So universities have seen the numbers of freshman applicants go down at many 4-year institutions, not at us. What we have seen go up here is the number of transfer applications. And what that means for our campus is the need for an increase in dedicated resources and programs for transfer students. This fall, our Beach Transfer Transition Center became a reality. The new center provides a space specifically to meet the needs of our transfer students. Those students can ask questions, identify their concerns, and gain support while on our campus. Another tangible plan is our newly renovated faculty center. This reinvigorated and reimagined center will focus on faculty advancement and professional learning. Under the leadership of its new director, Dr. Malcolm Finney, it will establish a comprehensive faculty professional development program that will assist faculty members to be productive and satisfied teachers, scholars, and contributing members of the university community. One of the many topics that will be explored is how social and cultural factors affect faculty work with students and with colleagues. Bottom line, we want the center to truly support our faculty, so you have everything you need to succeed inside and outside the classroom. Some future projects in the pipeline is Cal State Long Beach Downtown Village, which is located between Promenade North and Long Beach Boulevard. We plan this to add to our ability to educate the workforce of the future through programs offered by CPI in a convenient downtown location. This project is a partnership with our revered mayor, Robert Garcia, and the city of Long Beach, and establishes for the very first time our university presence downtown. As I mentioned, with hard work from URD, the University Art Museum has been renamed the Carolyn Campagna Kleefeld Contemporary Art Museum, or the Kleefeld Contemporary for short. Kleefeld is an artist known for her highly acclaimed paintings and poetry. She gifted 120 of her original works, as well as $10 million to the museum. The large permanent gift, known as the Kleefeld Collection, has helped spotlight our incredible campus art museum, which of course I hope you'll all visit. Some other interesting things happening for us. Next year, we have several crucial initiatives for us as a university that we're focusing on. The first is our WASC accreditation, with a site visit by them planned in October 2020. The second initiative is our continuing Beach 2030 strategic plan rollout. And of course, those of you who came in this morning got your incredibly useful sticky pads and the Beach 2030 pin, which with luck I am wearing. Those two key activities will run separately, yet be intertwined to create key partnerships that will benefit our campus. As you saw when you walked in, you got these post-it notes and a pin. Our hope is that these two items will serve as a reminder. How many of you are familiar with WASC? Do you know what it stands for? It is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, or in another incarnation, the WASC Senior College and University Commission, WSCC. Do you know what it is? Could you explain what WASC was to someone else? Well, in the interest of enlightening ourselves, we asked some students, and here are their answers.
What is WASC? How do you spell that? What is WASC? I've never heard of that.
Is that a bug?
I have no idea what WASC is.
So WASC is an accrediting organization. They basically help us to make sure that we are maintaining a quality that we need as a university.
The reason why it's important for our students is because those who need federal financial aid, the federal government requires us to have accreditation. They want to make sure we're providing the best education possible to our students.
Our businesses and our companies are looking for students who have an education that has been accredited. Accreditation is important because it matters for the next steps for our students.
One of the things that WASC does is it gives us a chance to reflect upon what resources we're giving the faculty and where we can do better.
So if you don't know about WASC, ask about WASC. If you do know about WASC, reach out to everybody on campus and talk to people who may not know about it. And in that way, we can come together as a community to really further the ideals that we have as a campus.
I appreciate that video for many reasons, but it certainly illuminates what our students don't yet know. And it also shows that we have our work cut out for us. Over the next year, our entire campus is going to need to document how our programs, departments, and academic support programs provide our students with what we say we provide, namely highly valued degrees. Basically, we will get a chance to evaluate and show to the world that what we do is most effective to ensure student success. As a campus, as you know, we use many metrics and assessments that need to be completed to prepare for this crucial visit. And this is where you all come in. If you want to know more about WASC, visit the Campus WASC website. Once you know, share your knowledge with other faculty, staff, and students. And if your job or area has already been a part of the process, thank you so much for your input, time, dedication, and service. This is always an all-hands-on-deck project when the review team comes to campus. Last fall, we had the rare opportunity for everyone interested in CSULB to participate in Imagine, our Beach 2030 campus-wide strategic plan kickoff event. We asked, and you answered. Here's a breakdown of some statistics during Imagine. Over the course of 2 days, 3,600 individual people participated and contributed more than 24,000 great ideas. A wide cross-section of the CSULB community for the first time lent their voices to this conversation about the future of our university. And almost half of the participants were undergraduate students, with almost 30% staff and faculty as well. So what's been happening since then? All those data, ideas, and imagination and discussions that imagination produced led to division-wide workshops to help us digest this content. From those workshops, our campus established and formed institutional level priorities and planning areas. And these are going to be rolled out this September, all the way through to June 2020. Our president will discuss more about this, our future, in her remarks. From my point of view, I really do enjoy moments like these where we have the opportunity to boast about all that we are proud of. I also appreciate the time that we can come together as a campus community to reconnect and refocus as we start the new year. Kicking off this fall in a shameless self-plug will be my new podcast series called Podcast with a Provost. I've already been chatting with leaders across campus to discuss their leadership and ideas, because this is all about you, not about me. I believe that these podcasts will give us an opportunity to learn more about the deep bench of talent we have on our campus. We have incredibly impressive and passionate people across campus and leaders who I think you'll enjoy learning more about. Check out the Provost's message for more information. We have something here at CSULB that we should all be very proud of. Thank you so much for all that you do to educate, inspire, and come alongside the next generation of students. What we do is so desperately needed in our community, state, and country. My chance meeting with that proud father in the parking lot was the reminder I needed, though we were at a diverse and ever-changing campus that what we do directly impacts the lives of our students, their families, their communities, and our state and nation. And in turn, of course, they become our family too. I felt a sense of renewed commitment to providing the very best education and student experience I can, and I hope you do too. I remain thankful that our one campus, with unified goals and missions in mind, is a shining light in the darkness that surrounds us. We are one beach family, and together we have the power to create change. So, go beach! Next, I have the pleasure of introducing not only an esteemed colleague, but a true friend. Since I met Jessica Pandya over 3 years ago, I have come to value and appreciate her leadership on several task forces, committees, and of course in the Academic Senate. Her commitment to continually reach across the aisle to bolster shared governance has been one of the many qualities I admire in her. She's the chair of the Liberal Studies Department, a professor in the departments of Teacher Education and Liberal Studies, a celebrated novelist, researcher, and educator, and is embarking on a whole new role as our Academic Senate Chair. Truly, she is a Renaissance woman, and I know that our campus will come to appreciate ever more deeply her commitment to our campus and also our students. Please welcome Jessica to the stage.
Thank you, Provost Jersky, for that introduction. My name, as the Provost said, is Jessica Pandya, and I'm a professor in and the chair of the Liberal Studies Department in the College of Education. You guys might know this campus as Cal State Long Beach, or the beach. Cal State Pavunga is another one of its names. Pavunga is often translated as the gathering place. As we gather today, I acknowledge that we're part of a continuum of gathering at this site of reflection, learning, and celebration. I'm here today in my role as the chair of our Academic Senate, as the Provost said. Our university Senate is a bit different than some that are faculty only. Our members include faculty, staff, students, and administrators. I became interested in the Senate many years ago because I wanted to know how people really made decisions on campus and how I could be part of that process. You might be wondering why I'm up here with the president and the provost. Like campuses across the nation, ours has a tradition of sharing the governance of the work that we do. The Senate is the main shared governance body. Making decisions together collegially, even while arguing, is what we do. And that matters here. That means that the Senate chair gets a spot on our Convocation program. The Senate itself is a group of about 80 elected members, many of whom are here. We make and refine our campus policies. If you are interested in knowing more about how the policies behind your grade, or your instructor's office hours, or assigned textbooks, about how a program becomes a department, how a dean gets reviewed, or about what kinds of awards the campus gives each year, come to us. There's one exception. If you have any questions about parking policies, I recommend emailing the president. Otherwise, we in the Senate, and I do mean we, all of us, make policies on your behalf. To some extent, the Senate cycle of work is ongoing. Policies and degree proposals wend their way through various committees, make their way to the Senate floor, and are edited and voted on the floor. Last year, we also got to participate in the campus's Beach 2030 strategic planning efforts. This meant that, like other units on campus, we were required to stop and think about what goals we as a body had beyond the current year. In other words, we had a chance to think about and create a shared vision for the next decade. Creating a vision for a policy-making body was something we hadn't done before. After a lot of consultation, a lot of negotiation, the Senate arrived at 3 themes that we hope will guide our work in the coming years: community, communication, and compassion. Although we've barely begun, and although we'll share the responsibility for these 3 themes with many folks across campus, the Senate has some plans in relation to each theme already. What can a shared governance organization like the Academic Senate do to foster community in our very large institution? What does it mean, we've been asking, to support a work community where people enjoy working and learning, where we associate our jobs with pleasure? On an interpersonal level, this means thinking about how we talk to each other in our daily committee routines. I'm hoping that as we debate policies around our campus's unique graduation requirements, for instance, we're able to communicate our concerns and needs collegially. More concretely, we as a Senate are aiming to analyze our policies, looking for how they might foster or be inimical to a greater sense of community on campus. For instance, some of our committees include few or no lecturer faculty members, yet these colleagues who teach many of our classes should be better represented. We're aiming to find places where representation is unequal and then change policy accordingly. Our communication efforts should be pretty immediately visible to campus community members who are on social media, since we're now on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Even if us slightly older senators don't all have Twitter handles yet, or actually even know what those are, we're going to explore using social media to communicate with you about our work. You'll see some photos from this very event on Instagram as soon as I figure out how to post there. And I hope you're inspired to go online and share your thoughts about the Senate and the university with us. We're going to continue to spend our energy and attention planning our annual fall and spring retreats, events to which you're all invited and at which we eat, drink, talk about, and try to improve the state of the university. We want to make sure all members of the campus community are aware of decisions that affect their work lives, and ultimately we invite you as interested campus community members to join the Senate in its policymaking. Finally, we are trying to do our best to do our work with compassion. We're aiming here to strengthen our sense of community and our pleasure in our work. We're also aiming to remind ourselves and each other that we live in unpredictable, volatile times, and that we're lucky to be here working with the students we work with, contributing to our local and larger communities. We do this in our teaching, our learning, our scholarship, our advocacy, our leadership, and our daily jobs. As your Senate Chair, I'm aiming for compassion and kindness in my dealings with everyone on campus, and I'd be happy to have your help. So these are our goals: community, communication, and compassion. The Senate represents you and works for you, so please feel free to attend meetings. You can check our website for details, ask questions, learn more about our work, and tell us and your representatives what you need in order to enjoy being part of our community here at Cal State University Long Beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. I look forward to a continuing collegial and collaborative discussions with the Senate, and would like to second Jessica's invitation to all of you to participate and join us. Another key to the success of our campus is our staff. They remain the backbone of our work and keep our campus running smoothly and effectively. We certainly appreciate every day the tireless dedication and commitment they provide to all of us. Representing this large and important group on our campus is our Staff Council President, Kristen Bonatati. She works in the 49er shops as their apparel and gifts manager and has been on our campus for 18 years. If you ever walk into our campus bookstore, you can often see Kristen warmly greeting and helping students, employees, and families find what they need. The director of the 49er bookstore adds that Kristen has a unique ability to successfully balance an extremely heavy workload with an ongoing commitment to serve our university. The director says that she can do it all, so please welcome Kristen Bonatati to the stage.
Wow, that was an impressive introduction. Thank you. Thank you, Provost Jersky, and good morning, Cal State Long Beach. Welcome, faculty, students, parents, administrators, and of course, the staff. I'm Kristen Bonatati, and I'm the chair of Staff Council, and I appreciate this opportunity to help welcome you all this new year. I see a lot of new faces today, so a little bit about me, if I haven't met you yet. I went to San Francisco State to become a teacher like my parents. I got my degree in humanities, which basically means I know a little bit about a lot of different things, like culture, history, literature, the arts, but not a lot about any one thing. I like to think of humanities as a very inclusive major, and also I'm very comfortable making small talk at parties and receptions outside, as you see. But something happened between my classes and the swim team. I got a temporary cashier job at the campus bookstore, and I loved it. I was making, wait for it, $3.35 an hour, just enough to pay my annual tuition of $679 a year, and maybe have a little left over. I love that the bookstore was nonprofit and we gave back to the campus. I love the textbook discount. I also love that basically everyone on campus would come through the bookstore at some point during the year, and it was a great way to meet folks from all walks of life. Fast forward 10 years, and I'm now at another great nonprofit bookstore here at Cal State Long Beach. I love Long Beach because it has the diversity and inclusiveness that makes for a wonderful institution and an amazing place to work. We all work together here to make sure that our students have a great college experience. Working at a nonprofit organization like the 49er Shops means that we have the opportunity to give back every day and be a resource for the campus. The 49er Shops includes not just the bookstore, but also residence halls and campus dining, the catering that you enjoyed outside today, the ID card services, copy and print services, convenience stores on campus, and don't forget our store on 2nd Street. The 49er Shops donates to and supports many programs on campus, including the Student Emergency Fund, athletics, textbook scholarships, and the Feed a Need program. As you can tell, I love my job. I'd like to take a moment here to give a shout out to some of the staff on campus who help our faculty and administration make Cal State Long Beach the top school in the Western region. And you saw the rankings, they're very impressive. First, I'd like to thank the facilities team that keeps our buildings clean and repaired. The landscaping team working hard to maintain our beautiful grounds. The SOAR orientation team who helps welcome our new students. The staff HR who make sure everyone gets their paycheck. Yeah. ATS and ITS who keep us connected. And also the wonderful staff here at the Carpenter Center and our lovely translators. And a special shout out to Jim, the sound guy. There are so many other departments here on campus that make this a great place to work, and representatives from all of these divisions help make up our CSULB Staff Council. The Staff Council's role is to share information and improve communication throughout the campus. And honestly, we bring staff together who normally may not cross paths. We also show appreciation and gratitude for campus staff who work hard every day by organizing events during the year. As Staff Council Chair, I've been very grateful this past year to meet and work with so many devoted employees, and I'm very proud of the work we do. Our summer staff day event, the Halloween Spooktacular, and the Cherishing the Children toy drive are a few of the ways we bring staff together and give back to the community. For those staff in the audience today, if you're not on Staff Council or you don't currently have someone representing your area, please let me know and I'll give you the details. We are also on social media, Facebook and Instagram. I don't think Twitter yet. It is such a pleasure to be here this morning and have the opportunity to brag about our staff. The 2,000 plus dedicated staff at Cal State Long Beach are what holds our campus together and keeps it running smoothly. I just want to take a moment today to thank our staff on campus, and let's have a great new year. Go Beach!
Thank you, Kristen, and thanks to our wonderful staff. One of the greatest joys of my job is working with students. I enjoy watching their passion come alive, appreciate as they develop their interests, and love being part of their future hope when they graduate. While all our students are amazing, I do find it rare when a student goes above and beyond normal activities, jobs, and schoolwork to actively make a difference on campus. One such student, Lisbeth Velasquez, our new ASI President, is truly motivated to better the lives of all our students. Her new role as ASI President seems to suit her talents and interests perfectly, since she is a fourth-year political science major with a concentration in law and public policy. Being a first-generation college student herself, she wants to serve all students on our campus. The combination of her determination, talent, and drive will no doubt make her goal a reality. Please give a warm welcome to Lisbeth Velasquez.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Provost Jersky, for the introduction, and a special thank you to President Conoley for the invitation to address you all today. As mentioned earlier, my name is Lisbeth Velasquez, and I have the honor of serving as this year's ASI President. I want to share with you all about the labor of those who got me here, and how vital each of our roles can be in shaping the success of students. I'm a proud Latina whose roots are of Mexican descent. My mother, like many before her, came to this country with the great hope that she would have a family and they would have a better life than the one she had in her pueblo. After immigrating here at the age of 14, she began working in the garment factories in Los Angeles. My father, with similar ambitions, worked under strenuous conditions in construction labor. They both worked hard so that their children could achieve more in life. As a girl from East LA, I grew up in a community where we often experienced gun violence and understood far too well what it meant to lack access to basic resources, much less safe spaces. I grew up feeling I would not accomplish many great things in life. And though I was fortunate to have had the support of my family, I knew resources were not abundant. As I recall my childhood, I was constantly on the search for sanctuary space, free of guns, drugs, and hostile law enforcement. Despite our surroundings, today I am proud to say that I stand before you as an advocate of student needs, and it is because of my parents' diligence, dedication, and constant support of me that I am a person with a passion for civil and community service. As I hope my story has displayed, I know well the impact that promoting a community and culture that are open and safe for marginalized groups can have on a person's life, a culture that accepts students for who they are and does not stigmatize them. When I first came to Long Beach State, I was confused, unsure about what I was going to do with my life. But similar to the impact of being surrounded by a loving family had on me, the resources and guidance offered by the folks here helped me find my place. I am a product of what being surrounded by an inclusive culture can achieve, and I am calling on all of us to continue to empower those still in need of guidance, to stand for their beliefs and know that Long Beach State will be a foundation to continue their growth, both while here and beyond. In today's climate, we have witnessed the constant fear marginalized populations are subjected to. We witness the lack of support they receive from many of those in our government, and we too often witness people preach hate rather than acceptance, love, and support. It is in times like these that I believe we must ask ourselves, what difference can we make to improve the lives of our students? It is that question that motivates me. After the 2016 elections, I had a strong desire to help those who felt lost in the legal system. I wanted to build what I felt was lacking in my youth, so I joined AmeriCorps through Justice Course to make a difference. While there, we helped self-represented litigants obtain legal education at the Courthouse of Long Beach. In these efforts, I learned more about the needs of CSULB students, which has informed one of my chief goals, to bring a free legal clinic to campus for students in need. We know that more than 70% of our students receive financial aid, and many of them do not have the ability to fully pay tuition, much less legal representation. I believe a program like this, and others like it, will help break the barriers marginalized groups and those who disproportionately face economic obstacles confront. In the same vein, one of our other chief goals this year is to work with campus leadership to promote and implement automatic voter registration through our class registration portal, so that all students who want to make a difference politically can. I ask you all to put yourself in the position of today's students and work with ASI this year to make these goals a reality. I believe these concepts follow in the footsteps of some of CSULB's great successes. We must continue to expand our efforts in the Dream Resource Center, for the ASI Beach Pantry, for our basic needs initiatives, for scholarships, and most importantly, for the equitable education of students who come from underrepresented populations. When we provide services and educate with empathy and not merely sympathy, we begin to create a culture of a collective good. It is my vision that for the future of this campus, we continue to embrace inclusive diversity, that our Black and African American students feel at home, for the Latinx population to feel they can walk with their heads held high, for the LGBTQ+ community to know we are proud of them and stand beside them, and for women to feel safe, supported, and empowered no matter their surroundings or circumstances. Thank you all for the opportunity to address you today. My story, although unique to myself, is not much different than the experiences of many other students. As we take our first steps into our strategic plan, keep the struggles and efforts made by our students in the forefront of your minds. Let their dreams and determination guide you. And as always, go Beach.
Thank you, Lisbeth. And as a member of the LGBTQ+ community myself, I feel the students standing by my side. Thank you. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our president and my friend and colleague, not to mention my boss, Jane Close Conoley. During my time working with Jane, I've come to know and appreciate her leadership, wit, keen sense of purpose, and warm personality. To the many in this room who have had the pleasure of speaking with her, you know that her razor-sharp intellect shines through her down-to-earth demeanor. She's a defender of the marginalized, a champion of women's goals, dreams, and achievements, a visionary, a dreamer, and an encourager of all. Please welcome to the stage our revered president, Jane Close Conoley.
I feel pretty special with that introduction. He's also the one who mentioned Nietzsche, you know. He always does that. He always gets something in there. So thank you very much, Brian. And let me join the provost and all the other speakers in welcoming you to this Convocation 2019 and the new academic year. I just want to make a slight alteration on Dr. Pandya's suggestion, problems in parking, Vice President Appel. Where is he? Stand up. Okay. A special welcome also to our President's scholars and their families. I'm so pleased to see you here today and look forward to getting to know each of you better. Also, a shout out to our 2019 Distinguished Faculty Award winners. This award has been meant to recognize full professors who, despite really no external incentives, still do exceptional work in their roles as faculty. I don't know if they're here, but if they are, please wave and say, yeah, okay, there's one there. To those faculty and staff who are new to the campus, your Beach family is really excited to learn more about you and, of course, to learn from you. This is a special place in my experience. I hope we've done enough to show you that already. It is a place of compassion and creativity and innovation. And if you are anything like me, you will grow to love the beach more with each passing year. I promise I will work every day very hard to support you, to advance opportunities for your intellectual growth and your personal and professional well-being. And very importantly, I look forward to seeing how you will change us for the better. And of course, a very warm welcome back to our returning faculty and staff and students. All of you put incredible energy and expertise into everything they do, and also a welcome to any of our alums who are here, really a foundation to our success. All of you are the reasons for all the exceptional rankings and all the things you saw up there. And I appreciate Kristen for mentioning all the staff members, so I won't do that again, but I have to say, when you're walking around the campus, how beautiful it is. Please notice that every hole we seem to fill up, we're digging another one, so just bear with us. But it's going to be great, and I really appreciate our planning and groundspeople and beach building services, for sure. So each summer at the end of August, we gather together to look back on the past year and think about the upcoming one. So today I have a special forward-looking focus. At last year's convocation, I said, the future is in our hands, and asked you to join me in taking an in-depth but also broad-based look at the beach and the forces surrounding us, to think about activities, traditions, and practices that should be preserved, created, or forgotten to ensure our future viability and exceptional success in 2030. I am delighted and profoundly grateful that you took this message to heart. What you had to say was insightful, fresh, and provocative, often leading to even more questions, and that's exactly, of course, as it should be. In fact, as the provost mentioned, thousands of you took part, so thank you for that and for the future participation I'll be asking you for this morning. But I especially thank Brian Jersky and Dushi Sathyanathan, Dan O'Connor, Jen Ostergren, Karen Nakai, Michelle Law, Jeff Klaus, and Michelle Bach for their tireless leadership in this effort. This has really been a robust and thoughtful discussion, exploring and articulating our animating values and imagining the evolution of our university, our campus, and curricula, as well as our future role in the region and beyond. When it is completed, this plan will help ensure that we are able to prepare our large and highly diverse, wonderful student population for the worlds of today and tomorrow, offer our faculty and staff environments that promote their best selves, and cement our commitments to shared governance with shared responsibility. And as a side note, there's already evidence that our Beach 2030 process is serving as a model for inclusive, inventive, transparent, action-oriented planning in U.S. higher education. We've been described in several major news outlets. Our process has been described, and I've been contacted by universities in California, Kansas, New York, Nebraska, Illinois, just to name a few, to describe the process. And so that wasn't on the ranking, so I thought I'd tell you. Here's a new report. We know that regional comprehensives like us, although as the provost so eloquently showed, there's really nobody really like us, but those others are currently threatened, especially in the Northeast and the Midwest, with declining enrollments, stagnant or falling state aid, paired with increased expectations for persistence and graduation rates, that is, do more with less, failing public confidence, skyrocketing student loan debt, and a rapidly changing world of work. While we on the West Coast are in better shape, we're not facing all of those threats, although some of them we are. The kind of national trend to falling birth rates will hit us right after 2030 in California. So we're doing the exact right thing in planning for how we will triumph despite national and even international threats. I recommend this report shown on the slide, by the way. If anyone would like to know, I can get you a copy. And then you'll know how I spend the time I set aside to worry. Then you could worry with me. I try not to do that more than 3 to 4, well, let's say minutes a day. In addition to mitigating threats, our Beach 2030 plan must be responsive to our biggest opportunities and our most pressing needs to continue our institutional evolution toward inclusive excellence. I've been so gratified by the inclusive nature of the process and the thoughtful and energetic input received. I've even appreciated the skepticism. Is Dr. Schurer here? Just checking. I didn't see him. I'm going to be throwing a lot of slides at you, but as you leave today, I hope you'll take this poster, because there will be a test. You put that on your wall, you memorize it, and you're set for life. So as much as Beach 2030 has been about anticipating trends and exploring how we evolve, one constant is our educational mission. Your voice has been heard. We have revised our mission statement slightly, but of course, it is the core of what we do. We want to make a transformational difference to empower students. Our core competencies are teaching, research, mentoring, and creating student personal and social developmental activities. So CSULB enriches students' lives through globally informed, high-impact educational experiences with superior teaching, research, creative activity, and action for the public good. Our vision for Cal State Long Beach embraces our mission, but articulates a broader sense of what we can become and the meaning we present to various publics and what we do as a steward of place. We benefit now from a strong reputation, in-demand educational programs, and a thriving region. Our university sits squarely in the middle of forces shaping higher education. Universities can and should be the great multipliers of expertise across a comprehensive array of disciplines, civic engagement, and personal well-being. This unique position presents a simple yet compelling vision for our future. California State University Long Beach will be a force for good at the forefront of public education in California and the world. Perhaps I'm most excited that this process has also yielded an exploration of our shared values. Our values represent our character and the principles that bind us together. They serve as the engine behind the scenes that power and inform our decision-making. These are value statements, or the what we believe statements, that were developed from your participation. Teaching and learning are at the center of who we are and all we do. Compassion, creativity, and innovation characterize our culture. Diversity is our strength. The public good is our responsibility. With these value statements serving as the touchstones for our further work together, let me share a few observations. Consider diversity is our strength. Instead of explaining away, as others do, their graduation rates or their SAT averages by apologizing for the shortcomings of their students' pre-college preparation, we are saying that economic, heritage, ethnic, religious, sexual identity differences, and all other intersectionalities among our students are a singular source of strength. As this value guides us, I see faculty using these differences in their teaching, asking always, how can our students' unique histories inform their classrooms? I am proud that we have affirmed that we will build on cultural and other strengths and are curious about differences rather than being afraid of them. And consider the last point. The public good is our responsibility. We have many programs on and off campus that directly serve our regional neighbors. And I wanted to mention a few, but don't be hurt if I don't mention you. I can't be here an hour, or you'd all be gone, right? So in our College of Health and Human Services, for example, Health on Wheels, Center for Latino Health, Center for Health Equity Research, PT at the Beach, Life Fit, on and on, business, volunteer income tax assistance for low-income families, and the Marketing and Business Center that helps out local small business owners, education, so many programs, Long Beach Trauma Recovery Center, America Reads, America Counts, their clinics, on and on, CLA, the Speech and Language Clinic, ethnic studies classes in regional high schools, our university police department offering self-defense training for women. I'll be there someday. Engineering, your work in helping to set up video monitoring that inspects hundreds of miles of pipes, and your smart road sensor really making all of us safer. Athletics, our student athletes do thousands of hours of service in the community. Most recently, our men's basketball team was in Costa Rica offering clinics to little kids there. CODA, Arts for Life, just to mention one, but there are many, many programs. So that's just mentions a few. So I think, in fact, I know that we can confidently say that the city of Long Beach and the broader regions are better because we are here. And that's really important, because we increasingly depend on them as they depend on us. I won't go through each one of our value statements, but I ask you all to consider compassion, creativity, and innovation characterize our culture. Here is just one example of compassion. Zachary Martinez let us know that his mother was in hospice and not expected to live long enough to go to his graduation ceremony. Jeff Klaus and Dushi Satyanathan traveled to Anaheim to give Zach his diploma in front of his mom and other family members, complete with regalia, as you see. And I understand Jeff had the right music on his phone, so there was music, regalia, and a diploma. It meant so much to Zach's mother. So that's how we roll at Long Beach State. Now, from those values come strategic priorities. They're on the poster, so you can memorize them. So that was the other outcome that we have constructed from the discussions. We've really dreamed big. We've had deep and meaningful conversations about who we are, where we're headed, what our students expect, and how we need and want to engage with them and many other stakeholders. Of course, these statements are by design rather big and maybe even somewhat vague because they are guideposts. They're not specific actions, but they show us the way for work yet to be done. Engage all students. Notice the word all. That's a big job, and there's no cookbook or single template that will guide students toward their professional and personal life goals. Some of it will happen in the classroom, some in co-curricular activities, and some through students' involvement in research, service, internships, or leadership opportunities, as so beautifully shown by Lisbeth's comments. Also, note the third bullet. Engage students in robust internships, international service, hands-on learning. This priority was mentioned so often that in a blinding flash of the obvious, or I often think BFOs that surround me, we've already taken steps to implement enhanced action. The provost has invested resources to give this effort leadership from a well-tested and beloved leader, Dr. Beth Mankey. With Dr. Mankey's help, we need to pull together the many decentralized resources we have in this space into tighter communication networks. No group will lose autonomy, and we'll all gain by information sharing, best practices, and most importantly, energetic outreach to government, business, and industry in our region. We must enable our students to experience the world, literally, I hope through international experiences, but also the worlds of service, research, creative activities, and the world of particular organizations. We also see that expand access must be a priority. We want to deepen our commitment to students' socioeconomic mobility by removing barriers to success in higher education. The CSU writ large was created to be the great intellectual equalizer in California, to offer the highest quality education to populations that were often shut out of higher education because of income or where they lived. Promoting access is in our CSU DNA. And here at Long Beach, we are very good at that. As you heard earlier, we both graduated and enrolled the 2 biggest classes in our history in 2019. To continue expanding access will require, however, new approaches and likely new audiences. Of course, we are committed to promoting intellectual achievement that is characterized by rigor, relevance, and impact. We have a vibrant community now. Let's look to see how we might improve it with more interdisciplinary programming, more sponsored work that might allow us more time for research and scholarship and creative activities, and give our students access to work on campus. And BUILD is a great example of that. As a university dedicated to the public good, can we better organize research around some of the grand challenges facing our facing our region? For example, water and air quality, poverty, climate change, homelessness. If we put our significant intellectual resources there, that will be a wonderful example of our commitment to the public good. Build community. We want to support a compassionate community that is characterized by a strong sense of belonging. Respect, belonging, meaningful opportunities for self and professional development, and positive partnerships are all hallmarks of successful organizations. They're not just touchy-feely pipe dreams. They are the basis of success. And like all successful organizations, continuous work is needed to create environments that promote success. You just can't do it once and think it will last. We have to work on it all the time. And finally, cultivate resilience. Resilience means many things: our personal wellness, our planet's survival, our financial position. In terms of the first meeting, I've been inspired by a dedicated group of Beach faculty and staff who worked under enormous time pressure this summer to submit a proposal to the state to access funds to train peer mentors, educators, to improve the behavioral health of our campus. If successful, we will offer professional development to larger groups of students, residents, advisors, faculty, and staff in order to create a cadre of specially educated people who can offer support and referrals for their colleagues or our students facing anxiety, depression, feelings of isolation or hopelessness as a building block strategy to improve the overall wellness of our campus. So special thanks to Marianne Takamoto, Bang Ju Huang from Division of Student Affairs, and Monica Lounsbury from CHHS, and to dedicated faculty across the campus, for example, Dr. Bita Ghaffori, who have stepped up to the challenge of creating a new evidence-based model of integrated behavioral and physical medical health that we'll be rolling out this year. The calls for additional mental and physical health resources from Beach 2030 were so strong that it was clear we should not wait. Even with these strategic priorities identified, our work is far from done. My call to you today is to step up again and help us complete the process. In the coming months, you'll be asked to determine what bold, visionary, concrete steps must be taken to achieve our bold, visionary priorities. Our work will carry even greater intensity as we convene work groups around specific programs and projects to operationalize these priorities. I need your best and your most creative ideas. At the same time, more information about financial and space planning will be shared with all of you to ensure a comprehensive approach. Can we do everything at once? Obviously, no. But can we ultimately succeed? Absolutely. I have no doubt. As president, you know, I know things. It's true. I do. I think you saw some of this data earlier. I have an allergy attacking me as I stand here. But, you know, we've been making such great progress on our graduation initiative program to go from, I think just 5 years ago when I got here, our 4-year graduation rate was in the teens. It was 16, 17%. And now our first-time freshman 4-year graduation rate is projected to be 32%. Isn't that amazing? And the 6-year rate is projected to be 73%, and that's up from just 69% just a year ago. So these are remarkable and historic highs for our campus. And it was done by removing barriers, by adding resources to our students' journey with us. And we've had great success as well with our transfer students, increasing their 2-year graduation rates and their 4-year graduation rates. So I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm especially proud of another set of statistics here, that the opportunity gaps between various groups, for example, Pell students and underrepresented minority students, is projected to be below between 3% and 6%, respectively, Pell and URM. And the transfer gap is projected to be below 3%. This is in graduation rates. This is astounding, because just a few years ago, these numbers were more like 12% and 15%. So you have done an amazing job to ensure that all students are making progress. And so I want to applaud you for that. We've made this progress by working together, recognizing the power and creativity of this community, and recognizing that we must continue to evolve, grow, and innovate. While the future is in many ways an open question, we can be certain that the next decade will bring forces. Thank you very much. That was Dr. Kali Conley. Who is the only one allowed to actually notice that my nose was running, so I didn't want the rest of you to know. But whatever the future, we know they'll bring forces of change that require our adaptation and reinvention. Work skills will change. Technologies and disciplines will change. There'll be realignments necessary in our structure. And changing climate patterns will require our mitigation and our resilience. How we respond to these new conditions and opportunities and challenges is very much up to us. This is our chance to break down unnecessary barriers and rebuild with fresh ideas. I'm counting on your partnership to be sure we're ready for the inevitable dynamics that either will promote us or deplete us by 2030. I thank you again for all you've already done to envision a resilient, successful Cal State Long Beach 11 years from now. We will preserve much of what we do. We will create new programs, strategies, partnerships, organizations, and we'll leave some things behind. Thank you, and go Beach.
Thank you for those remarks, President Conoley. I feel inspired and ready to work with you as we lead our university into 2030. We're truly fortunate to have such a remarkable leader. Our university is in good hands. So, are you ready for the next year? Are you inspired to educate the next generation? Feeling overwhelmed? If so, remember we're all working together for a common goal, a clear mission, and a wonderful campus. Thank you all for attending and for your active engagement with Beach 2030. And that concludes this year's Convocation. Go Beach!